This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And oh, baby, you know one thing about Dolany TV, we like getting the jump on big rumors early. And how about this one, folks? Right? We've seen everything that has come and gone from the NHL entry draft, everything that has gone on in the NHL landscape, and the Oilers have a crap ton of cap space to do a lot of damage with. And folks, let me tell you, you would be kidding yourself if you aren't at least, I'm not saying this is a rumor, I'm not even confirming anything here, saying anyone's confirming anything either, because what I'm saying is I'm just getting the jump on a discussion. Simply put, are we looking at getting Patrick Kane? That's the one thing I'm asking here. Is things appear by the second to be going south for him and the Chicago Blackhawks, whether the team's going south, their relationship's going south, or Kane's intention with the Blackhawks is going south. It's all going south by the second in Chicago right now, and he is a UFA at the end of this upcoming season, and at $10.5 million against the salary cap, a 50-50 split between the Blackhawks and Oilers, quite seriously could land you an unprecedented, absolutely unprecedented player. You thought Evander Kane was solid with Connor McDavid. Imagine Patrick Kane with Connor McDavid on his center ice position for the Oilers. Right? Unprecedented level of talent, superstar level talent to have next to Connor McDavid on the top line for the Oilers. Imagine loading up all-star starting lineup caliber kind of thing, Draisaitl, McDavid, and Kane down by a goal late in the third period. You're scoring 9 times out of 10 by the sounds of that. Not saying it would happen, but by the sounds of that, you're scoring 9 times out of 10. Yes, he's 33 years old. Yes, he'll be 34 years old by the end of his contract. But folks, I could bring up his stats. It is a moot friggin' point to bring up I'm going to mess that up. Patrick Kane's stats. Simply put, the man is 33 years old. This is what he's done in the past 4 seasons. 110 points in 18-19. 84 points in 19-20. That's in 70 games, by the way. How about 66 points in 2021? And how about 92 points on a terrible Chicago Blackhawks team in 2021-2022. The guy is a get-it-done kind of guy. Also, by the way, in that 2020 playoffs that eliminated the Edmonton Oilers, by the way, 9 points in 9 games, 2 goals, 7 assists there as well. So, my friends, you're kidding yourself if you're going to say, oh, this guy is off a cliff terrible and will absolutely be a dumpster fire in Edmonton if he comes at 5.25 million against the cap next season. And that's the thing, right? You're looking at signing Evander Kane long term. I get that. That is a great move by the Edmonton Oilers. There's a lot of risk associated, however, and if you're wrong, it's going to look really bad, right? Big money, long term, publicity, whatever you want to say, that could be the one that is the rotten wood of the ship that is a Hall of Fame career for Ken Holland in a general manager's chair, right? Quite honestly, that would be the rotten wood if you sign Evander Kane long term and that anchor contract screws the Oilers and costs them McDavid, right? Fair. So, do you not look at a potential brewing situation in Chicago where Patrick Kane, yeah, I believe he's got some no trade clause. He's probably got everything up and written there. No doubt about it. He is probably absolutely, yeah, no movement clause. Where are we looking? No movement clause this season, right? Like, there's a lot to it, I'm sure. And it is what it is for the Edmonton Oilers and Chicago Blackhawks. But end of the day, I'm not going to get too worried if there is a trade to be made. And here's the thing, we've heard a lot this summer about free agents changing their mind on Edmonton, people changing their minds on Edmonton. You gotta think that if Patrick Kane wants out, that now with Edmonton Oilers cap space being available, that even if it's not the top choice, it is on the menu for the Blackhawks and Patrick Kane. You got to think. That's, like I said, nobody's saying that. Elliot Friedman isn't saying that. Frank Saravelli isn't saying that. Darren Drager's not saying that. Just as a common sense, and I'm not even saying, oh, 100%, there is no way the Oilers can't get Patrick Kane. No, I'm just saying, as a common sense Edmonton Oilers fan who sits here and looks at kind of the reality of the situation, is Evander Kane's target number one. I understand that 100%. But if target number two for a big, splashy, flashy forward is not Patrick Kane, I don't know what you're doing with the Oilers cap space in this offseason. If you can get him at half of his salary, you're in win now mode. You are in win now mode. 100%. And I mean, Chicago, nobody in their right mind has a clue what they are doing in that city for an NHL team right now. I do not see why you don't try to force an issue. And quite honestly, right, okay, the Oilers are trying to trade Jesse Puljujärvi. Why would you not, if you're Ken Holland, be looking at Chicago saying, if I trade Jesse Puljujärvi over there, the price for Patrick Kane is substantially lower than straight up just asking for Patrick Kane. Does Chicago want Jesse Puljujärvi? Again, dude, I don't think 31 general managers in the NHL know what Chicago wants. I don't think the guy sitting in the Chicago GM chair knows what he wants, to be quite honest with you. But that's my point. There's a situation ripe for the picking. Ken Holland is a veteran GM. If this is not at least on the top of the radar list, there's something wrong. 100% of the time, there is something wrong. But it's just right now something that lines up. That's all I'm saying. For right now, Patrick Kane to the Edmonton Oilers is just something that lines up given the circumstances. Until something gets actually put smoke to fire, you're not going to get any actual results, and more than likely, realistically, in my opinion, it doesn't happen. However, right, as it lines up right now, I don't see why you don't A, push for it, or B, at least minimally investigate it to the best of your abilities. Because this is a Stanley Cup winning move. I think 31 general managers are probably doing the same thing Ken Holland is doing. And I say 31 because Chicago's probably sitting here pants on fire trying to figure out how to keep Patrick Kane, despite being an absolute dumpster fire. It used to be Arizona, but now, quite honestly, the Chicago Blackhawks are the biggest dumpster fire in the NHL, and that's just fair. But as 31 other general managers in the NHL are doing, Ken Holland has got to be looking at this and saying, I got to do something here. I got to make this happen. And if he's not, it's not shame on Holland, because yes, I know there's number one target in Evander Kane. You got to sign a goalie. You got to get some defense. Chill. Good, right? But everything else figures itself out. Whether it be Kemper, whether it be Campbell, whether you find somebody on the trade market to split time with Stuart Skinner, the goaltending market is going to cost you at most $6 million times a couple of years. Okay, you got $20 million of cap space. You kidding me? You can't get that done? Brett Kulak's going to cost you $3.25, if that, right? If you find the right term for Brett Kulak, it's going to be $3.25 at most, done. Your second line, lefty, is right there. Philip Broberg is your third line, lefty. You sign a seventh defenseman, you call up Desharnais. I don't care what you do. You're spending less than $1 million on your seventh defenseman. Cool. You probably trade Tyson Barrie. Well, okay, now you got even more money. Jesse Puljujärvi, well, if you're trading him for Patrick Kane, winger in, winger out, same impact, good to go. Quite honestly, right? You win games with either. That's what I'm boiling it down to. The analytics crowd will tell you, you win games with Jesse Puljujärvi. Folks, I don't know if you're keeping track at home with this video. You win games with Patrick Kane too. You do. So I'm not saying trade Puljujärvi. This is not me saying, but if you're going to, please do it this way. Please, please, I beg you. And then realistically, okay, you need a couple of more forwards. Well, 6 million, 3.25, 1 million, 10.25. You have 10 million to spend. You don't get Evander Kane. You still have 10 million to spend. You have a couple holes, Yamamoto, McLeod. Okay, they're going to cost you 2.5 each. Cool, that's 5. You've got 5.5 million left. Patrick Kane. See? It all lines up accordingly, folks. I could go all day on this, right? I'm already at the 10, 11 minute mark, but I could go all day on this, on how this so rightfully lines up for the Edmonton Oilers to go out there, and everybody on Twitter, everybody on Facebook, everybody on Instagram is justifying everything the Oilers need to do this offseason as we're in win now mode. The Stanley Cup is ours next season. That is the mentality, and it is no longer a delusional Edmonton Oilers fan fantasy. It is the truth. So you sit here and you say, how, as the general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, Ken Holland, do you get it done? Stanley Cup winning multiple time champion Patrick Kane is one heck of an option to get it done with. I don't think anyone can argue with that. And that's literally what I'm trying to do with this video, is just say, yes, you should be on board with this. There is absolutely no way that you can argue this would be a bad thing for the Oilers, because all the justification you need is right there to do it, and all the ability to do it is already available. Folks, I don't think there is one single thing you can say that is going to tell you, no, there is no chance in anything that you should be trading Patrick Kane to the Oilers if you're Ken Holland. I'm Tyson. This is Dolany TV. That's 12.5 minutes on why trading for Patrick Kane lines up for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm up on out of here.